In this video, I'm going to show you why you should not have bucks on your property during the summer and all the details that go into that, and how you can make that buck come on your land during the fall during hunting season. So how many times have you heard, I had this buck on camera during the summer, but either he wasn't on camera during the hunting season or he was nocturnal during the hunting season? I've heard that a lot, and fortunately I haven't had that happen here because I've been doing all the right steps to make sure that there are not summer bucks on my property and during the summer, and that they are here during the hunting season. And so there's a lot of things that fall into that, and number one is definitely food. If you have really good food and good food plots, weedy food plots during the summer, that's going to attract a buck to stay on your land during the summer. And then once all the weeds die in your food plot during the fall and during hunting season, you might have them there for the early season, a portion of the early season, but you're not going to have them there all summer, maybe occasionally during the rut. But deer need that habitat change into their fall and winter habitat. That's something switchgrass is good for, cedar trees are good for, because those stay up and the weeds die out, but they stay up and protect the deer. And so that's one reason, is because of that food. If you're attracting a buck for that food during the summer when he doesn't need it, because there's already a bunch of vegetation around here. And so just like same with water, deer don't need to drink that much during the summer as they do during the hunting season, because even looking at something like this, if you peel everything back from it and you kind of squeeze it, there's a bunch of moisture and water coming out of this plant, and it's only May. So think of what that would be in June and July. So there is a bunch of water in this plant, or in this weed, and so when they eat on these, they get a lot of water from it. And so same with food plots. If they're eating on your food plots, they're going to die out, and then there's no quality food on your property during the hunting season, and then they're going to shift over to their fall and winter habitat with somebody that has a good quality food plot and has good quality fall and winter cover. And so I've been on a lot of properties that have had a lot of nocturnal bucks and a lot of summer bucks. And so they've heard we've been strategizing for this buck all summer long, and then he just suddenly left. And I've heard that multiple times, even watching hunting shows, watching just other people hunt, and personally, and that's because they have to have that habitat change. If you don't have every property that has deer on it will most likely have quality summer food. Once that summer food or weeds and summer cover dies, then the majority of properties is not doing it the right way and planting summer food plots, and then they leave the land and they go to their fall and winter habitat. So to make sure that you have fall and winter habitat, I just sprayed my food plot. It's still pretty much bare dirt except for a couple weeds, which weeds are fine in my food plot during the summer. I do not want quality food like brassicas, peas, anything like that, clover in my food plot right now. I actually have some clover that came back up this spring. So I put 2,4-D, I just sprayed the food plot, and then I came over here to do this video. But making sure that you only have weeds in your food plot during the summer, or keeping it bare with that weed killer. And actually I'm going to be planting buckwheat, which is not food for deer. It's a shading cover, a soil pH builder, soil builder, and it will shade out the weeds, so that way I can do the Jeff Sturgis no-till method this season. But that is not planting food. Buckwheat is not quality food for deer, and it's not going to attract a mature buck. Now, occasional bucks on your property during the summer months is fine. I've had some summer bucks. I probably had 4 or 5 last year, through probably May through probably early September, and then just occasionally. And then October 12th, I got my first picture of a buck. It's a really small buck, but after that, I just started to see huge bucks flow in, huge numbers of deer, huge number of bucks flow into this property, because that's when the habitat changed. That's when they came over here for their fall and winter habitat for the hunting season. Now, they still came here during the summer occasionally, but during the hunting season, when that habitat change shifted, when all those weeds and that unquality food died, then they came over to my property and a huge number of bucks flowed in here, and I got to shoot my target buck October 21st, and so that was, and the first buck picture I got was October 12th. So it was just incredible watching all those deer just flow in to this property only on this 42 acres. And that's because I did everything right, not having summer food plots, not making sure I'm coming down here at least once a week. And that's really good if you're able to, is coming down here a lot. And I'm fortunate enough to do that and kind of spook the deer off with the four-wheeler, because there's a bunch of time for them to come back. So probably 2 weeks, a week and a half to 2 weeks is when they come back, after being spooked by the four-wheeler, or just knowing that the four-wheeler presence was around here and my presence was around here. But making sure that you don't have summer bucks on your property is really critical during the summer, so that way you can have a chance at shooting a buck this fall. And so I hope that helps you, and I hope you don't have too many summer bucks on your cameras on your property. Just occasional. I had about bucks coming about each month, so once a month, maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So I hope that helps you, and just making sure that you're doing all the habitat improvements right, and making sure that there are no, or not constantly coming, bucks on your property this summer.